everyone, welcome to another week of DIYs with me. It's Madison, and I am here with a really cute DIY this week. Again, we are in spring, so I'm kind of trying to keep it in a more springy, light patterned palette. So let's get started. So for the first things we have our greenery. So our greenery we're going to be using this week is called Israeli Ruscus. This is a type of ruscus, but it's just a little bit more structured. If you've seen the past DIY videos, you're probably used to things like Italian ruscus. And Italian ruscus is more long and feathery. It has more movement to it. This has a bit more structure to it, and the leaves are wider. There's not a lot of movement to this stuff. So here's some different type of ruscus for you guys to use. For some flowers, I have some Campanula. Campanula is also known as the bellflower, and it is in the bellflower family. It is the bellflower family because it is known for its distinct shape. Looks like a little bell. Very cute, very cute. So you guys should have about 2 of those. Next we have our Matsumoto asters, also known as Chinese asters or Matsumoto asters. They're very cool. They have like this really big center that's usually pink or green, and then they have like really bright colors on the outside. I believe that they are native to places like Korea and China, hence their name. And they are a annual plant that grows usually all summer long into like early fall. So they're a great thing to plant inside of your garden if you can. All right, next we have the beautiful iris. Again, one of my favorite things. They just remind me of warm weather. I grew up with a bunch of irises all over my house. My mother loved irises, so excited to have some of these for you guys. You guys should have 3 of these, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to open them as well, which is gonna be very fun and very interesting. All right, and then we also have some pink roses. I have these tiny pink roses, but you guys should be getting similar types of pink roses. What's really cool about the variety I have here is that they open up really wide, and if you pick out the center, they have this yellow center that also mimics our Matsumoto asters. So I'm excited to show you guys how to do that. You can do that with a lot of varieties of roses, but the ones I have today are really good for that. And then last but not least, we have a little sprig of rice flower. Rice flower is really cool because it usually has a nice scent to it. I like the scent of it. Some people don't, some people do. I like the scent of it. This is usually grown as like a shrubby, tree-like plant, and it's actually endemic, also a word for native, to Australia. So hope you guys are excited for this one. I know I am. We only got 1 sprig of it, but we're gonna use it smartly. All right, and that is it. So let's get started. So first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down my Israeli ruscus. So I see like little breaks in my Israeli ruscus for some reason. So I'm actually gonna take advantage of that and split these pieces up. Also, I'm working out on one of these beautiful bases that we have on our menu. So that's the base I'm choosing today. I'm gonna cut those first couple pieces that are kind of like lagging behind. Like right there in the middle of the stem, just so I can break them up. And I'm gonna put those first couple pieces pretty low to the bowl, just so you know. 1, more stems in there means I have stronger mechanics in there, because as we know, when we're building our mechanics, we wanna make sure we're going all around the bowl, so we end up having that crux thing that I talk about all the time. But yeah, we're gonna make sure we're building that into our base, going around the center, and then these wide leaves really hide all those mechanics. So I'm gonna make sure that these first couple stems are shorter than the rest. All right, got that one. All right, now I got some greens that are really low to my bowl. So now I'm going to focus on these pieces. I think I'm gonna do 1 more cut for this one, just 1 more low piece, just to really get a strong mechanic going on. And then I'm gonna take the bottom leaves off, and I'm just gonna start building up. So I'm gonna have that piece stick out a little bit. I'm gonna take off these bottom leaves right here, cut this a little shorter, put that one maybe a little higher, just so we have some dimension. This one, I'm gonna do the same. Clear up those bottom leaves that I don't want. And then cut it a little shorter, just like that. And then I'm gonna stick that one right here, kind of facing the back, just so I have like a good frame. All right, lift up your vase, see if you like it. I love it. And now we get started. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Matsumoto asters. So Matsumoto asters kind of grow in this cool little pattern where you can get multiple blooms on one stem. So I'm gonna really utilize that. So I'm gonna break these pieces up. I'm just gonna get rid of this long stuff right here. Bam, my pieces are gone. I'm gonna make sure I take off all of those bottom leaves because, as we say, no leaves in the water. No leaves in the water. And I'm just gonna start sticking them in places. I kind of want them to be different heights. I don't want them all in one spot, kind of gathered. Gonna really play with the shapes of them. They have some cool little dangly shapes to them, so you can really play with like the angles and get those good angles in there. I'm gonna cut this one a little shorter so I can put more at the bottom of my vase. Cool. On to my next one. Looks like this bloom wants to say goodbye, so I'm gonna say goodbye to them. Yeah, I'm just cutting all those pieces off, split them off. Really taking off all of those leaves, and I'm just playing with shapes. I'm not putting everything at the same height, you know. I want there to be dimension. Like you look in my vase and you see all of these pretty little asters hiding in the greenery. This is a cool one because there's more longer green pieces on it. So I'm actually gonna place that right next to one of my other asters, so it looks like an accent, like they're growing from the same branch. You know, mimicking nature. All right, and I think I'm gonna make sure that this one is angled fully, like it's sticking straight out so people can really see the texture of that one. Perfect. I got one more stem of my asters. We got a lot in here. Got a lot going on. Again, giving it that cut so I can get it off its main stem. And I'm gonna tuck some in behind. This is a really nice one. This one is gorgeous. We're gonna tuck that one right here. This one, I think I'm gonna do maybe a little taller. And then these accent pieces, I think I'm gonna put one right in the back, just like that. All right, so I'm gonna do a 360 real quick to see how my vase is looking. Beautiful. Next, I'm gonna go with my roses. So these roses are really tiny and they're really fragile, is what I've learned. So one, when you're taking off all those leaves off of them, you wanna make sure you're holding at the base of the head so you're not like ripping the head right off. And then I'm going to spin these out really good. But again, since this is a very fragile and thin necked rose, I'm gonna hold it at the head and kind of twist like this. Just so I'm not like breaking off the head of the rose. If I do it up here like really rough, it might spin it out faster, but I'm just a little nervous that it's gonna break. So I'm really gonna be gentle with this one. Just spin it out with my 2 fingers. All right, perfect. Then if it's not open a little more, you can go, because what the goal is, like I said before, I want to rip out that center. So these are pretty open now. I can fluff them out just a little bit more. Just a little, just so I can really see that center. And then I'm gonna pinch at the base of the middle and just pluck it out. If there's any more that you want to take out, feel free to. And now, in order to really see that center, I'm gonna reflex some of these just a little. Just really fluff them out. Get that really pretty look. It is such a pretty pink. It's like a perfect little blush rose. I don't know if you guys can see this, but now you can see the center. The center is like a reddish yellow color, which is really cool. And it low-key looks like almost a completely different flower, which is really cool. So I want to make sure we can see the inside of this rose. I'm going to cut it a little shorter. I'm going to get a good angle on it. Put it right there in the center, right in the front. I'm gonna take a look. Beautiful. And those are slowly gonna open more, and then the middle will just shine. It's one of my favorite things to do with like roses, smaller roses. I do this a lot with spray roses, especially what's that one variety called? Majolica. Some people call them Majolica, some people call them Majolica. I've always thought it was Majolica roses, but Majolica spray roses, the centers tear out really easily, and they show the center, and it's super cool. I really like doing it with those, so I'm kind of mimicking that. All right, so I peeled off those guard petals, and now I'm just gonna hold it upside down and kind of get it to open just a little. Come on. Sometimes one thing that helps me is blowing in a circle. So like taking it and going, that really unravels that like tight center of a rose sometimes. So fluff it out a little bit more. Then go to the base again of your rose and just tear them out. Tear them right out. And then I'm then gonna go around, reflect some of those petals. Just so we can get that look that we're chasing. These are so pretty. They reflex very sharp. Some varieties of roses I've noticed reflex sometimes very soft, and they create like soft openings, like a very cottagey look. And then some open or reflex like this, where the petals look super sharp and angled. And I think that's very pretty with these roses. So again, I turn out that middle just so we can peek inside when they really start to open. I'm gonna put that one right there. Perfect. All right, and then I got one more rose. We're just gonna do the same thing. Pick up all those leaves, guard petals, goodbye. I think I'm gonna keep this one a little taller. Then I'm gonna hold it upside down. Let gravity do the work. And then just twist it open. Make sure you're holding it. I tried spinning out one of these earlier so I could like figure out what look I wanted to do. And the rose head just flew off when I was like spinning it out regularly. So that was super sad. I didn't want that to happen on video. All right, so then I'm gonna take out a big chunk of this one. Just go bam. And that one, literally the center came out perfectly. This one might be the perfect rose. If you look right in that center, it looks completely different. It's like you can see the red and the yellow in the middle now. Super cool. Ooh, almost dropped my rose. Need her. Some of those petals out a little bit more. Really reflex them. And again, reflexing is just taking your thumb and your two fingers and flipping them inside out. So you go to the base of the rose and you just go floop, flip it right inside out. It's very fun, especially when you can get almost an entire rose reflexed. It's magical. It's absolutely magical. Right, isn't that beautiful? Wow. Taken aback. All right. So I'm gonna stick that one right here on top. Again, we're gonna lift up our base, make sure we like how it's looking. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so now I have some of my favorites, campanulas. Again, in the bellflower family for that distinct bell shape. Ring, ring, ring. It's very cool. It's a very pretty flower, and they come in a lot of cool colors. They come in like pink and lavender and dark purple. But this lavender one is honestly one of my favorites. They're just so gentle looking, and it's just such a pretty purple color. So I'm really gonna try to utilize that bell shape and make sure that it is seen, because it is quite literally amazing, and I need it to be seen. All right, so I'm gonna put that one right up there, right at the top, because I want people to know who's ringing at the doorbell with the campanula. It's me. It will always be me. So yeah, we'll put that one right up top have some of those bells sticking out so you can truly see like the buds growing off it. Very pretty. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing to this one. This one has like a cool little offshoot. So I'm actually gonna give that a first cut. Use that and put that, let me make sure it can be seen. Put that one right here. Just so it's kind of laying at the bottom of my vase. Cutie pie, she's a cutie pie. All right, so we're gonna take off all those extra leaves off the campanulas because they can look a little messy when you leave them on. I'm gonna take some of those off. I don't want to look too messy. Take off any of those buds that are looking kind of funky. I think I'm gonna cut this one a little shorter and put that one right in the front, kind of right underneath my last campanula, just because I really want that like trail of little buds off the campanula to follow the other one. I just think it's very pretty. So, yeah. Next, we're gonna do our rice flower. Again, rice flower is very cool. It's very shaky and bouncy and like frilly. It smells great. I'm gonna cut it a little lower. And I think I wanna put the accent in the bottom. Make sure you look at your vase. Again, I'm a tall person, so I'm always picking up my vases and looking at them because God knows what I'm designing when I'm all the way up here, you know? So I'm gonna make sure I look at it, look at a spot. I think I like this spot right here. This spot right here could use some texture. Let me readjust real quick. Make sure my roses are doing what I had them doing in the first place. We'll put a little pop of texture right there. Cool, cool. Next, I'm going to do my irises. So irises are really cool because when you get them, they're usually super close like this. But there's a fun little way to open them up. And I'm going to teach you. So what you can do is one, I took off all those extra petals on the end, so it came like this, and then I stripped it naked like this. And I'm going to take my fingers, and you're gonna find these little pieces right here. They're like on the edge of the petals. They're like, you guess you could call them the guard petals, but they're like the little green sheath that's around the iris. I'm gonna take that, pinch it, and slowly peel it downward. Slowly peel it downward. Now what's cool about this is when you peel them, it starts to split, and sometimes it will hold this shape, sometimes it doesn't. I don't get too caught up in it, but it makes me happy. It makes a little heart. It makes a tiny little heart. And I like to utilize that and make sure it's seen in my arrangements. Now you can keep this like this, or you can really get this to open by doing my next trick. So I like to hold the iris at the base of the head, not right here, because there's a thin part of the iris in this sheath. So if you like do what I'm about to do without holding it like at the thick part, like right below the color, it's gonna break. So make sure you're holding it right there, right there. All right, and then I'll get close for this. Actually, I feel like I should. You're just gonna take this, and you're gonna go. I'm like really close, guys. I'm gonna go gentle little flicks, just little bumps, and then they should start to open, just like that. Bam, and now you have an open iris. Sometimes what I like to do, if I really want to show off that really pretty yellow color in the center, I take my fingers and I kind of flip it inside out. Sometimes it stays, sometimes it doesn't. I don't get too caught up in it. But if you want that like pretty little iris shape, sometimes you can just flip them outside a little bit. If you want them to be like, hello, I'm here, you can do that. And then bam, we have a beautifully opened iris. And I did that because what I want to do is cut these a little shorter, just like that. Make sure you can reach your water. And then I'm going to put it right here, front and center. So when people look at my arrangement, they can see down the middle of my iris. Period. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing. This one I might not open up fully because I want the hearts to be seen. I'm going to take that little like green sheath again, kind of flip it inside out and then gently pull down. Now if it's not splitting like the last one did perfectly, just really stretch it, not stretch it out, but make sure it's flattened. Sometimes when you try to pull them down, they're like not like straightened all the way. Get that curve in there. I'll come around again, and then you just gently tear, gently, gentle tear, and then you bend it back upward like this, just like that, and then bam, you have a cute little heart. A cute little heart. And I'm gonna do it to the other side too. You go, take that. I usually like to hold it a little bit. I flip it inside out. I feel like this DIY is super close and personal, guys. Hope you guys don't mind that I'm in your personal space. But I feel like it's much needed for this. Again, I'm just flipping it inside out and then gently pulling it downward, And then as you can see, there's a little split that forms. I just follow that split right down the middle, and then make sure those pieces on the side are flat too, by the way, where it's not gonna fold right. There we go. Gently down the middle, Then I usually pinch it a little bit, just so it holds its shape a little bit. And then bam, you have a cute little heart. See that? Art. So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing and just flick it gently. I'm not gonna flick this one too much, just to the point where it opens a little bit. I'll let her do her own thing. So I kind of want these to be up higher, just like that. And then for my last iris, I will do the same. Pull, 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 peel down, inside out, peel down. This one I feel like is gonna make a really cute heart. Oh my God, it made the perfect heart. I wish I would have showed you guys that one up close. Look at that. Ta-da! It's like a cute little iris heart. Very cute. I think I'm gonna flip this one open just a little, just so people know what's going on when they see my arrangement. I'll put that one right up there with this one. Kind of want this one to be the tallest in the group. I'm gonna twist it in. Make sure you're not just stabbing into your arrangement or stem. Beautiful. Make sure that campanula's out. You can see its buds. You can see its shape. And I'm gonna take that little tiny one and put it right here, so it looks like my campanula is just sprouting out the vase. And then bam, we have our DIY for this week. I think this DIY is very interesting. It has some really cool things that we haven't used quite yet this season. The campanula, the irises, and the Matsumoto asters. And then it all comes together with these beautiful, gentle pink roses that I ripped the centers out so you can kind of compare them to these and the Matsumoto asters. I think they're very well together. Everything pairs together very well. And it's like this cute little periwinkle-esque arrangement. All right, so again, it has been a pleasure. Can't wait to see what you guys do with this week's DIY. I love seeing your pictures, so make sure you put them in the comments. Well, not the pictures, but make sure you comment, like, send us your stuff on Instagram. I love seeing them. I actually do see them when you guys do it, so it makes me happy. And I will see you guys next week. All right? Yeah, so have a good week and bye.